Hi and welcome to another episode of The Grind. I know it's been a while. We haven't given you an update since the election, and that is why today we saw it fit to sit down with Tuva Adams Tuva so that we can get to understand, after the general elections, what do businesses expect? What are we expecting as a country when it comes to finances, when it comes to running your business, when it comes to getting funds for your business? And today is going to tell us exactly what to expect as business people, as entrepreneurs, so that we can be able to move forward, to continue with life even after a general election. I mean, it comes once in 5 years, and we need to continue with life. But I'm going to let him introduce himself so that we can continue from there and understand what we have before us. Karibu sana.
Thank you.
Please introduce yourself.
So my name is Tuva Adams Tuva. I'm the managing director for the Adams Group of Companies.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
It's been a while since we sat and discussed the economy.
Yes.
So as we start, we just had the general elections just a couple of weeks ago. What shift do we expect to see when it comes to businesses, in terms of running businesses and getting funds for businesses? What is the shift that we expect to see?
Basically, we expect more stability. More stability means more investors. So I think it's looking up for our businesses. More investors will be coming in. So all in all, I feel there's a positive vibe in the air. Once everything is transitioned, the governors get into office and all that, everything should be back to normal.
So we should expect at least some positivity there.
Oh yeah, of course.
So when it comes to running a business as an entrepreneur, we are expecting positivity. Will this be a relief for business people, or they may have to wait until maybe a few months in so that they can see now, okay, now I think you're getting better?
There should be a transition period, a month, 2 months, 3 months. You realize that now most of the people in business, a big percentage will run with county. So in case of county, people must get into government, have a feel of what is going on, reports and all that, figure out what are the pending bills. Most people get in and stop all payments. So if you're doing business with government, you realize there are a few months you'll need to chill and before they start making the payments. So depending on the line of business you're in, considering that our businesses are mostly run from the county level, there should be a bit of delay, but after everyone is settled in, governors have selected their people, everything should go back to normal.
You've mentioned about people doing business with government, maybe government halting because of the change in government. For a person who does business with the government, at one point, yes, it will have to halt so that you can get the funds. How are such business people supposed to plan themselves to ensure that even if the government halts, I'll be safe for this couple of months? How do you plan yourself?
That's where now you realize that you need to diversify, right? For example, for us, we're in different sectors of business. We're in technology, we're in real estate, we're in other programs that we're doing. So as much as we do business with government, we don't put 100% into that kind of business. So I believe any business should be able to diversify. You can actually be in the same line of business. Let's say you're in real estate, right? But there should be different levels of real estate. Low-income housing, condos, people selling land. So you should be able to diversify that, right? And of course, after some years of doing business, you should be able to have enough reserves. So comparing people like us 10 years ago, we didn't have so much reserve. So we felt such kind of bumps. But after some time, once you grow your business, you should be able to have enough reserve to sustain yourself in such a period. Yes.
And now that you're talking about the government, 2 counties, Nairobi County and Mombasa County. For Mombasa, they're planning to do, or the governor is planning to do 1 or 2 business permits for whole business. And when it comes to Nairobi, they want to do an electrified method of business permits. How workable is this, and of what benefit is it to business people?
The most important thing, not only in Kenya, in the world right now, is ICT, automation. As in, most people will take a bit of time to get used to it, but technology is the one and only constant which
you have no other way.
There's no other way out. So what these 2 gentlemen are doing is they basically think about the future, right? And it can be done, right? We have enough experts in this country to automate such kind of processes. So I think this is the way to go. They should be actually, an example to the other counties.
Yes.
Right. So I think whatever they're doing is quite unique, and that is the only way to go. Yes.
Is this something workable for businesses, and what does that mean for a business?
It makes life easy, right? Instead of, for example, you realize some businesses you have to do almost 3-4 different licenses, if not 5.
Yeah, I saw like for hospitality you have to like 6, 7. You have noise, you have food, you have what?
Yeah, exactly. So it's quite robust, and what that does is it hinders a lot of people from getting into that line of business. You mentioned hospitality.
Yeah.
Those licenses right now, and there was a recent bill which was just passed. That is what is halting our businesses from growing. So someone wants to open, let's say, an Airbnb or a small hotel.
Yes.
But because the list is so long, right, they don't know where to start. Right, you realize some areas where they'll go eat, there's a lot of bureaucracy, right? So you can get 4 licenses, but this one license will take you half a year. So simplifying it into just one document or 2 documents makes life easy. At the end of the day, all these things need to be automated. Just an electronics, you make the payments on whatever platform you're using. It comes on your email as a PDF. You print it, and that's it. You should not even have to interact with the county team. Yeah. So that also ensures that all the money is actually goes to the right place, right? It reduces the corruption, and basically we're able to perform and act faster, right? So businesses are able to grow. I don't have to wait for 6 months to start my business for resources there. Yeah.
So because you're used to going to a business, they'll put.
Yes, correct. Yeah, it's a whole board.
Yeah,
it's a whole board.
Is this something that all counties rather should embrace, considering that business is at a standstill, not only in Mombasa and Nairobi, but all over the country?
Yeah.
Is it something that even other governments from other counties should embrace?
Correct. As in, I feel it's something which should be actually number one. Revenue collection is number one for any government. Yes. Right? Because without these resources, there's nothing you can do.
Yes.
So I'm actually advising some of the new gentlemen or ladies who have just come in, and the first thing that needs to be there is automation of revenue collection. Number one, right? So it's something which is very close to me, close to my heart, and I feel technology. You realize some of these leaders don't have an ICT advisor.
Yes.
Right? There's so many departments and, advisor, agriculture advisor, whatever, but most of them, and I've checked, almost 70-80% do not have an ICT advisor. So that should be the first thing they do. Get someone to advise them in ICT, right? And that person, once coming in, should say, first thing is revenue collection.
Yes.
How do you automate these processes?
Yes.
Right? It will fill a lot of those loopholes, right? And you realize you're collecting more money. You realize even 10 times more.
Yeah,
right?
than what you were doing before.
Yes. So I believe it's the way to go.
Yeah. So according to Tuva, the government should embrace technology even when running businesses, because it will not only help the county in government collection, in revenue collection rather, but also help the businesses when it comes to getting permits to do what it is they need to do to at least put food on their table. We're going to take a short break, but when we come back, we're going to understand, has the stock market been affected by the elections? Is this something that you're going to face with every election? We're going to take a short break, but before that, let's get our quote of the day.
There is nothing wrong with change if it is in the right direction. Winston Churchill.
You are watching TV47, the home of untold story. Disability is not only limited to physical disorder, but also mental issue. From depression,
I was under depression for like 2 years.
Bipolar.
Bipolar disorder is a mood disorder.
And even suicidal thoughts.
When I was just about to hang myself, a certain voice just talked to me, and I believe that was God. I tried suicide more than 6 times.
Beyond the Limit has gone beyond its limit to find answers so as to help everyone go through life with ease. Join Muthoni Maina every Saturday at 7:30 p.m. Starting this September at 8:30 p.m. on Tuesday, The Realtor brings it all to perspective. We identify a property, discuss and demonstrate the journey towards ownership.
professionals who have integrity, and from their catalog you can easily read that these are professionals who are able to deliver.
Everywhere you go, you have to up your games, you have to go with the trends.
Not forgetting the margins as well as the risks that come along.
The runaway prices of the land. We are saying that it's something that we can never go without mentioning. Any developer will not go without mentioning price of land.
Don't miss out. Do you want the latest news on farming? We've got the WikiLeaks for you. Get it? No? Well, okay. Every week, we give you insights on different farms, from crop farming to animal keeping.
They're very hardy insects, yeah? The larvae is a very hardy insect.
We look forward to having an optimum production in maybe about 5 years. Yes. Oh. Yeah.
So we plant every week and we harvest every week.
Join Violet Njoki every Sunday at 6:30 p.m. as we skooma the wiki.
It's not all the time you have to read your farm. Sometimes it's of benefit.
Starting this September at 8:30 p.m.
Hi and welcome to The Grind. My name is Violet Njoki.
We continue to provide the platform that aims to inform and educate on business-related matter. We are here to ask all the relevant questions on your behalf.
Welcome back. For those who missed the first part, my name is Violet Njoki and we are joined by Tuva Adams. Tuva has been explaining to us the impact of technology in business when it comes even to running the government and when it comes to revenue collections. ICT is needed. This is something that we need to upgrade as a country. People are saying that Kenya is the capital of Africa. We need to show them even when it comes to technology, we are also #1. And I think counties moving to technology is something that will put us there. So we were talking about the elections affecting businesses. Elections affect the stock market. Is this something that we should expect with every elections, that every time we have an elections, our stock market dips?
Yeah, so it's natural. Normally most businesses or most human beings want to feel secure.
Yes.
So security is liquidity. So realize at this point in time, people don't feel so safe when, because in the stocks, because of the elections, everything's just, fluctuating and all that. So someone feels that, if I withdraw or if I pull back, I can reinvest later. So of course, it does affect the stock markets, based on the fact that, people feel liquidity is power.
Yes.
Yeah. So it does when people are approaching that period, and of course the latencies are expected. You realize that it does affect the stock market strongly.
So it's something that you expect with every election because people are not sure what is the outcome.
Yeah, correct.
So even as we talk about the stock market, the dollar is at an all-time high. I think it's getting to hit 120 at the moment. Is it because of the elections, or is it because even before the elections we were not well planned as a government?
Okay, so you need to roll back and figure out one thing, that the dollar is our base country, is the global base currency. So once you start there, you can then figure out that the dollar drives all the economies elsewhere. So money comes in, or dollars come into an economy when people feel the economy is strong.
Yes.
Right? So for you to get money, right, people need to feel your economy is strong enough. That's when people come in. Right? So based on that alone, you can realize that as long as there is a bit of instability, people will not drive in money.
Oh, true.
Right? So I think I've answered your question.
I was reading before, it just came at the top of my head, that Zambia was able to stabilize its economy after they got a new president in like 4 years, and now their dollar is like, it's something that they can trade with. If we as a country get to stabilize even when it comes to general elections, when it comes to our taxation, when we're able to settle, are we expecting to see like a dollar getting to where it was before? There was a time we were at 70, 90.
Yeah.
Do you expect to see us getting back there? Is there a possibility?
Yeah, correct. As I said, economies are all about perception. So when a president, let's say in the States, says something negative about a country in Africa, it affects them.
Yes.
So it's about perception. So when the world looks at this country and realizes, okay, fine, we have a new president, this other person has dropped, the perception is that he's coming with new people, new policies, stronger, economic policies, right? So that allows them to have a better handle on their money, and people, as I said, this perception, people must believe you're able to do it. So as long as they believe you're able to do it, then you're able to, concentrate everything and do much better.
Yes.
So that's basically, it's about perception that, okay, we've gotten a new government, and maybe they came with policies saying that, you know what, we're going to do A, B, C, D.
Yes.
And people trusted that.
Yes.
Right? So that's basically very important. Yes.
So even with this in mind, sometimes we get investors are in the country, but when it comes to like a month before the election, they all pull out. How do businesses ensure that even if this investor pulls out of my business, I can still cushion myself? How do you plan yourself to effectively continue running your business even if an investor pulls out?
As I was saying, it's all about small businesses and maybe older businesses. Realize that older businesses or stronger businesses or grown businesses have a longer business plan, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, even some 50.
Yeah.
So realize that these older businesses have a cushion. They have enough reserves.
Yes.
Right? For younger businesses, maybe people plan 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, so they will feel this more. So it's all about resources and reserves. Yes.
And how does a business create a reserve for itself just to make sure that in the future I'll be fine?
It now depends on the leadership. It depends on the leadership, what kind of business owner or entrepreneur do you have. For bigger organization, is it maybe the board, right? So that leadership actually captures and manages, how it manages how the business will move. So in some cases, there's nothing you can do. If you're young, you're young.
Yeah.
You can't fast forward that.
Yes.
So you must go through the trenches, fail a couple of times, get auctioned, whatever. So that process is there.
Yes.
So as long as you pass through the process, at some point you'll get to, where you say, I'm comfortable now. I can think 10 years, I can think 15 years, and that takes time.
According to one of the manifestos of the presidential candidates that we had, they said that they are to introduce a 50 billion Kenya shilling a year to provide SMEs with 100% access to affordable finances through SACCOs. Is this something that is worth it, and is it something that MSMEs should consider? Like, will it work in their favor?
Okay, so in such kind of manifestos, you need to take it with a pinch of salt, right? So this is how it works. People have dreams, and basically he has advisors, and we put together something. So I don't know how they've structured it, but ideally how it would work is that they are looking for pipes. These pipes are structures. Structures is SACCOs. So you need microfinances in SACCOs, right? So they can only roll out this money through the proper structures. People who already have, networks and whatever. They already have members. SACCOs have members. So they will basically reduce the threshold of, the requirements for you to get a loan, right? To allow more people to access it.
Yes.
So this is how it goes. So the threshold goes down. So you're giving loans to more people. More people are able to grow their businesses quicker. Of course, there's you have to open an account for 6 months, 3 months, all those basics, and that's why they're using the structures to make sure they're not wasting money, right? So once that is done, they're growing even the businesses, the SACCOs themselves. Whereas the SACCOs will now have more assets. They're able to have, build maybe more, build more internally. They're able to hire more employees. So at the end of the day, the 50B is being used, but in a structured way. So I wasn't there during the manifesto, but in my thinking, that's basically how they will be able to, to release the 50 billion into the economy. So it affects both the SACCO as an organization, or the microfinances, the small wananchi, mama mboga, baba mboga. So that's what they're targeting. So who's basically on the grassroots? The SACCOs. Right?
Yes, true.
Yeah. So with those structures already set, they're able to
So if this is something that can be able to be put in place and actually made, it is actualized, it is something that will help SACCOs, business people, all kind of people.
Correct. But I really don't know what their plan.
Yeah, their thinking is.
My thinking will be, if I was to actualize that, that's how we do it.
Yeah. Oh, okay, interesting. I'm hoping that they get to see this and actually actualize it so that we can benefit as a business as well, and even the SACCOs can benefit. So when it comes to general elections and business being affected, are there businesses that get hit more than others, and why is this?
As I said, the biggest guys who spend money is government.
Yeah.
As in, we can go right, left, center, but the bottom line is government are the biggest spenders, right? So if government is the biggest spender and every 5 years there's a transition,
yes,
right? Governors will come in and say, okay, fine, there were 159 ghost workers taking $1 million bob.
Yes.
So based on that, let me halt all payments till I figure out how many people am I paying, how many tenders were actually real. And this was also happened in the previous government where the former governor Maxon, who did exactly the same. So and this will happen in all the counties. Once they step in, they'll halt everything first. They'll freeze, except for the the normal transaction, they must freeze that. So talking about 3 months. So anyone who's dealing with government now will have a bit of a strain, right? So those are the people who will be mostly affected. The rest of the guys, if you have a restaurant, you have a hotel, you run an IT company, maybe not so much. But if you're dealing directly with government, both national and county, you will get hit.
You'll have to feel the pinch of the government. So when it comes to situations like that, do you think like businesses should create a fallback plan for post-election period? And what are some of the ideas that they can implement so that they are sure that even if the election takes a bit of time, I'm still okay?
There's some organizations which only deal with government, so that's tricky. But as I said earlier, like in whatever business you're doing, you must diversify. So you can have passion for one thing, but make sure you diversify. So that is the only way to cushion your business from such kind of issues.
So when it comes to an election period, it's a two-time thing now that Kenya has gone to the Supreme Court when it comes to elections, and businesses are still not back fully operational. Is this something that will always affect businesses, that before you get to know who your leader is, if they take it to court, even if it is in court, your business will still be affected? Is this something that Kenyans should put in mind, that we may be going to the Supreme Court a number of times, and so as a business person, you need to ensure that in your mind, we may not get back to where we were at 100%. Is this something that you'd always put in mind?
It's someone's democratic right. Let's just start from there. So you cannot say you cannot take him to court because it will inconvenience my business. It's his right or her right. So you basically prepare and just expect the best. But at the end of the day, it's a reality. When someone feels their rights have been infringed, they'll go to court. And I feel it's a right process, it's the right way to do things. So I feel as businesses, we need to be prepared psychologically. Maybe it's two phases now. It's the election and then now the Supreme Court. So once you're prepared for that, it gets a bit easy.
So you are an expert when it comes to real estate, when it comes to IT, and their businesses also in themselves. How does one who is in that industry prepare themselves for my business will not get back to 100 maybe in a couple of months? How do you ensure that you still get business at that time? How do you keep do you still keep marketing yourself, or do you just wait, let us settle so that I can go back now to where I was? How does real estate, how does IT or even other industries, how do they keep themselves known? Because for these few months, let me say maybe up until December, businesses may be at a halt, but how do you keep yourself relevant at that point?
So the leadership of any organization is very important. You need to be able to restructure yourself, maybe even morph into something else. You realize in this same election period where people are complaining, there's some businesses who have done extremely well. Same thing during the COVID period. Some businesses did very well. So it's not a one suit fits all, but every business has ways of restructuring. So depending on the entrepreneur and how they do business, they should be able to basically morph into something different, or even, you know, diversify. Same thing with us here.
Okay, so as we wind up, Adams, what advice would you have for businesses, even as we await the outcome, or even if we will know the outcome, what advice do you have for businesses that they may ensure that they are okay up until maybe till we say, okay, now we are good, business is back to normal?
So I feel the biggest asset an entrepreneur needs to have is patience.
Patience.
You need to become patient, because when we start rushing things, when you start saying, okay, fine, I need to, you know, do ABC in a rush, you get things wrong.
Yeah.
So I think, I know the heat is out there, but I believe things will settle down. In a month, 2 months, 3 months, things will settle down. So my advice is for young people not to do things in a rush. Young people, you don't have to sell your assets because you feel, you know, maybe things will not go down. You know, you don't need to raid the stock exchange because you feel something will go wrong. So patience is key. You know, sometimes it looks really bad and desperate, but trust me, sometimes when you sleep, come morning, things become better. So that would be my advice for this particular time.
Thank you so much for your insights.
Okay, thank you.
And I hope that as business people, as entrepreneurs, you've got to learn a lot about why your business is fluctuating, why the economy is the way it is at the moment, and we are hoping that when time goes on, things will get better and get back to normal. Adams has told us patience is key even when it comes to business. Do not rush for what you think is right. It may affect you the right or the wrong way.